Welcome to the Holistic Soul Podcast. I am your soulful guide and host, Ashley Tracy. And today we are going to look at the week ahead for December 11th through the 17th of 2023. This week we have a few shifts and our last new moon of 2023. Crazy to think about that. What a time of reflection. And also at the same time, planting new seeds for 2024. Just a little bit of a brief chat on 2024. There's a lot happening next year, and specifically a really big event with Uranus and Jupiter and Taurus coming into exact alignment. And we won't really touch on that today, but I actually just finished up with a client and we really went into that, and really excited to chat more about that in my Planning Your Year Ahead course for 2024. And that's on my website, ashleytracy.com. So take a look, sign up. Spots are filling up. Would love to have you. And it's a 4-week course where we meet live each week. And you also can watch the recording, ask questions, but we're really going to go over how to work with the astrological transits of 2024, how to apply it to your own personal astrology and then your daily life. So sign up, and can't wait to see you in the new year. But let's get back to where we're at right now in this present moment. And let's start with Monday, December 11th. The moon will enter Sagittarius early that morning. So we're going to have kind of a really inspiring day that day, because when the moon is in the sign of Sagittarius, preparing for the new moon in Sagittarius, which will be the next day, we are reflective, but we're also thinking of where we could go next. Speaking as someone who natally has her moon in Sagittarius, we're a bit restless, okay? We don't sit still. We are always thinking about the next adventure. And that's how I want you to use that Monday, is to be reflective, because we are in the dark moon phase. So right before the new moon, it's called the balsamic moon. It's the dark phase. The moon is almost completely dark, and pretty much is when we approach that new moon energy. And so we are in this phase of going inward, resting, reflecting, and rejuvenating ourselves and preparing for this new cycle that's about to start when we have the new moon the following day. But with the moon in Sagittarius and this new moon happening in Sagittarius, it's looking ahead. It's thinking about the adventures that we want to have. It's opening our mind to what could be, and also at the same time being present in what is right now. Because shadow sign of a Sag moon, and I can talk about it because I am one, is escapism. It's like, okay, I want to move on to the next thing, or I want to be here already. So how can we integrate and balance being in the present moment and aware and mindful, but also this positive outlook for what is to come, to vision for the future, to manifest, right? Like, manifestation starts with, first of all, what do we value? What's our core value? And then we build the vision off the value that we have, right? It's not just building a vision because we think that's what's going to be cool or what we want. It's, well, what do we truly value? And that's one of the things we can work with this dark moon phase leading up. And the reason I say that is because on Monday the 11th, Mercury, which was in Capricorn before he goes retrograde, we'll talk about that soon, just wait, will make a sextile, which is a very stimulating aspect, to Venus and Scorpio. So it's about going to, like, what does our soul truly value? What's our core values? Deep down beneath the superficiality of what we think or what others think we value or need or want, to what do we truly want? And this is just a really nice day to, like, sit with this energy and feel before the new moon, before we set our intentions. And Capricorn and Scorpio, Capricorn's earthy, it's structure, it's getting things done, it's making a plan. And Venus is research. It's in Scorpio specifically. It's research, it's investigation, it's going deeper. And so this is a really good day to kind of get ready to set those intentions and like really do your research within yourself. Because then on the 12th, we have the new moon in Sagittarius. This is happening in the afternoon time, so about 4:32 Mountain Time, so you can adjust for your time zone. And then we'll set our intentions. And so the new moon is happening around 20 degrees of Sagittarius. So if you have any placements around 20 degrees in your chart, you're going to feel this energy, specifically if you have any placements in the mutable signs, Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo. This new moon's really going to be activating your energy a little bit more. I'm a Sagittarius moon, about 23 degrees Sag, so this new moon's hit me hard. But I'm excited because you have to be when it's Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is the eternal optimist, right? Sometimes blindly looking away at what they don't want to see, right? So, but luckily if we use the energy of the 11th to really see everything for what it is in the moment, that's going to help us create and manifest our reality moving forward, what we want, our vision for the future. This new moon specifically, and for those of you watching the YouTube version of this, you'll see it pop up in the corner. But this new moon is in alignment by conjunction with Mars. It's a little bit wide. Mars is at 13 degrees of Sagittarius. But the Mars energy is like helping us take action. It's allowing for our passion, our desires to come through to the surface. And Mars in Sagittarius is a restless Mars. It's a impulsive Mars. Mars in a fire sign is usually let's go, let's do it. I love change. That's what Mars in Sagittarius says. So let's make it. But it could feel maybe a little bit overwhelming. So if you are feeling too much energy, too much excitement, make sure, especially with Sagittarius, move your body, move your legs. Sagittarius rules the thighs and buttocks and hips area. And so if you're feeling like you need to get some energy out, go for a walk, right? Run, cycle, bicycle, whatever it may be. Just do something to get some of that excess energy out. This most likely will be if you have a fire moon, you're going to feel maybe a little bit more excitatory. Is that even a word? I don't know. But it goes. Let's say stimulated. That's a better word. You're going to feel even more stimulated with this new moon. This Mercury retrograde is already messing me up here a little bit. So anyways, there's that Mars. But what I love about this new moon, is that it's trine the North Node in Aries. And the North Node in Aries is related to the eclipse cycle that we've got going on throughout 2024. And it's planting the seeds for your future, because the North Node is where we want to go. The South Node is what we're familiar with and we're releasing. The North Node is where we want to go. And so with this new moon in Sag, doing a trine to the North Node in Aries, it's like, where's your passion driving you? Like, what is it? What's possible? And it's also trine Chiron. So if there's any healing or that you need to do to get there, right? Because we got to do our work, got to do the work. I'm really loving, by the way, I'm not endorsed by them, but love the book, The Inner Work. And if you haven't read it yet, highly recommend it, especially during this very reflective time before the new year. The work that we do, right, in shifting our perspective, because that's such a Sagittarian thing to say and do, is that like the inner work that we're doing, how we shift our mind, shift our perspective, open up, it just, the world is our oyster. The universe is our oyster, okay? The cosmos, everything. And so I really love this new moon for that. Now, we are feeling the station of Mercury, right? It will be stationing retrograde, late Tuesday, really into Wednesday. So we're going to feel this stationary energy of Mercury retrograde. So You know, I would love to say that this new moon is great for like vision boarding, which I don't know, I kind of feel like I want to, but this Mercury retrograde's holding me back a little bit. Because I feel like there's still something to uncover when we have the Mercury retrograde. So let's dive into that. Mercury retrograde is going to be stationing. So when he stations, he basically is at a standstill, and then he's going to start going backwards. So does Mercury technically go backwards? No, but the way his orbit looks from Earth, it looks like he's going backwards. And so he's going to start his retrograde at 8 degrees of Capricorn, and then go back, I believe on the 23rd of December into Sagittarius. So there will be a connection to this new moon here. And he'll finish up. So I feel like there's something else that still needs to be cleared up or discovered, or some insight within yourself during this retrograde before you can really truly put that vision board together. Because that's the goal of Mercury retrograde. It's going inside for answers. It's not externally looking for answers. It's reflecting, it's reviewing, it's reevaluating. So I really feel after Wednesday on the 13th, we're going to feel this desire to be reflecting back. And I don't want to just think about being stuck in the past. That's not what Mercury retrograde is about. It's about gaining insight and clarity within on what you might have experienced and how that shapes you moving forward. So if you pull up your birth chart, which on my website, ashleytracy.com, on my blog, you can find a link, and I'll put it in the show notes, for how to pull your birth chart online. Look to the area in your birth chart that contains Capricorn, because that house, that area of life, is going to be really highlighted during this Mercury retrograde. And so you might be really reflecting on certain areas. So for example, I'm an Aquarius rising. Capricorn rules my 12th house. And then Sag is my 11th house. So there's going to be two themes, Capricorn, Sagittarius, during this retrograde that's really coming up for me. One, deep healing, spirituality, intuition. And the other part with my 11th house is community, friendship, and, the connections and the vision for the future. So I'm going to do some really reflective in reviewing of those parts of my life. Now, I'm not going to take action, because we don't do that with Mercury retrograde, right? We don't take action. We reflect, and we really embody our intuition. We embody our thoughts. We explore and research and just reflect. We don't take action on something new. Now, sometimes we can't stop doing things, like you have to do something new or have to buy something new during Mercury retrograde. Just know that whatever you start that's new might be revised at some point in the future. Okay. So for some people, that's not a bad thing, right? Some people, they want to do that. For others, they might not want that. So just be a little just cautious if you have to do something like signing a contract, buying a car, buying a house, like anything big like that. We want to avoid that during the retrograde. Now, this will continue until January 1st, when Mercury will station direct. So still at a standstill, but then we'll move forward after that. So we'll get to that when that approaches. But do not fear Mercury retrograde. It's actually really purposeful, and it's really important for us to do the inner work during a retrograde, because retrograde means inward, not outward. Okay. Not much is going on. The moon does shift on the 13th from Sag to Capricorn. And then the moon will be in Capricorn all day on the 14th, and for a little bit in the morning on the 15th. But then on the 15th, the moon will shift into Aquarius. And on that day, we actually have Mars making a trine to Chiron. So Mars in Sagittarius will trine Chiron in Aries. And this is really just expediting some of that healing. It's putting a lot of energy and a lot of passion towards doing some healing, because Chiron's our wounded healer. It's where the wounds show up. And Chiron in Aries specifically is a wound to our identity. It's a wound to our sense of self. And so you might be doing some work, right? You might be putting some effort into exploring who you are or exploring how to nourish and take care of yourself. So really nice energy. And with the moon in Aquarius, we might try something different and out of the ordinary, maybe out of the box, like step outside your comfort zone a little bit, or just be weird, right? I mean, weirdos unite. Like, that's Aquarian energy. On the next day, Saturday the 16th, the moon will be in Aquarius still. And then we have the sun in Sagittarius making a square to Neptune in Pisces. This energy this Saturday is going to feel a little bit slower. Whenever we have Neptune involved, we are not moving so quickly. Even though the sun in Sagittarius wants to move like real fast, Neptune's like, hey, slow down, chill, man. Like, enjoy life, enjoy the moment. Neptune's like, meditate, be mindful, take your time. Pay attention to your dreams, or get really creative. You might feel really creative on that day. Neptune rules kind of not only our intuition and our imagination, but our creativity, because when we are in the flow of creativity, we're in the flow and connected to ourself and in our intuition. And so it might be a day that you feel that. It could also be a day where you feel a little bit lethargic or like foggy or confused. If that's the case, slow down, right? Don't push yourself too much. I mean, we are in a retrograde, plus we have the sun squaring Neptune. So our energy levels just might be a little bit lower on the 16th. And then on the 17th, the moon will be void for a good chunk of the morning, for most of the morning, until it enters Pisces around lunchtime. And then we're going to have, again, some of that Neptunian creative, visionary, dreamy energy. We might be daydreaming this weekend a bit more than we usually do. And that's okay. This would be a good weekend to get lost in a book. I don't know if you have read A Court of Thorn and Roses series, but I'm on the last book right now and I'm pretty excited. So I might be reading a lot this weekend and just get lost in the last book, which is literally like 800 million pages. So I've got my work cut out for me. Well, that's it for this week. I really hope you all have a wonderful week ahead. Reach out, like, subscribe, leave a comment, rate, spread the love. I'm hoping to expand more and grow my audience and reach as many beautiful souls as I possibly can. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.